off the airspace is yours, flight 412377.
Bill Basie at the microphone. Now, listen to that roar. See that yellow? That's an F8 Bearcat. Bernie Vasquez, one of the most talented warbird pilots. Warbird racing, exhibition warbird pilot, technician, fabricator, and maintenance. Now this is amazing airplane. Here is a coincidence. The man who's flying this F8 Bearcat as showed today is actually on the cover of EAA Sport Aviation magazine for this year. It was an airplane he brought in last year, the Body 347, and a formation shot with the 810 Thunderbolt 2. One from troop inventory and one from World War II. What a coincidence. Now, Bernie, they've got an airplane flown by Walter Boyd and Carlene Vendetta. They're from Sonoma, California. Flown by Bernie, a very talented stick in all types of warbird aircraft. The amazing aircraft came out too late for World War II. It was never bloodied in the hands of the United States. It was made for one reason. Jimmy Fast, a lot of combat pilots will tell you is responsible for the maneuver called the thatch weave, to shake an adversary off your tail, using your wingman's tail in a dogfight. He came home to Grumman. He had flown the F6. Went back and said, what can we do to improve that? So with his input, with the great people from Grumman, they said we're going to build the F8 Bearcat. It's going to be 20% lighter in weight than the F6. 30% better climb rate, just like this. And 50% mile faster. Now here's how they want to do that. They shorten the fuselage, keep the weight down. They shorten the wings, keep the weight down. Now, if you're flying a Bearcat like this, the engine is so far back that the accessory section at the back of the engine is actually by your feet. There's how they shorten it up. Now, if you saw Bernie take off, if you see him land on runway 18, you're going to see a 3-point takeoff and a 3-point landing. That prop is so large in diameter, unless you put the tail wheel down at the same time the main gear is down, you may get the prop tipped. It goes fast, as Bernie is demonstrating here, and it got more notoriety in the world of air racing, time to climb, and speed record, speed on a closed course. It was a favorite for years at the National Championship air races in Reno, Nevada, where it would be 1 year the Rare Bear, owned by Lyle Shelton, would win the gold, and then the next year it would be a P-51, perhaps a Strega, a Tiger to Stephanie, and then the next year they modified the Bearcat more, so they were getting a tremendous amount of speed out of them. If you go to the Housing Museum in Washington, D.C., you'll see Daryl Greenemeyer's airplane on display. It's called the Conquest 1, and it too, in the hands of that Lockheed test pilot, set a number of speed records. So it is a real hot rod. It went to work in combat for the French in the Indochina War, and later by the South Vietnamese. You hear that rumble, that roar? 2,800 cubic inch flat and rickety engine, producing about 2,250 horsepower. Now here's another feature of the airplane being flown expertly by Bernie. It was previously owned by the Couches family of California. It was painted in these colors, and when Walter Bowe bought the airplane, out of respect for the Couches family who had kept it immaculate for years, they kept that same paint scheme. Now there was another civilian model flown in orange colors, sponsored by Gulf Oil, and it was called the Gulf Hawk. Major Alford Williams campaigned that aircraft. Approximately 1,200, maybe plus or minus, were built, so it says. In the U.S., there are about 12 that can fly or that do fly. That means a very rare aircraft. Others are on display, one at the Naval Air Museum in Pensacola, Florida. It has got a very long, spindly landing gear. And again, the reason to keep that prop from the deck of an aircraft carrier, another reason you have to do the three-point landing. Now, another great feature of the Bearcat. Let's go back to the first year of the U.S. Navy Blue Angels flight demonstration team. See that airplane there? That's what they flew in the first year. But wait, you say Danny. In the first year they flew the F6.
And you recovered.
Well, you're going to the F6 beginning of the season in about this time of the year, 80 years ago, the end of July, the beginning of August, they transitioned to the F8 Bearcat.
47, go.
So you're
away, the airspace is yours.
Everybody wins a beer at the bar.
We've got the Bearcat. We're southwest, turning toward the field. Sir, the airspace is yours. The airspace is ours, C-47, that's...
Did a load and speed run typical of the National Championship Air Racing Fleet held in September in Roswell, New Mexico, our beloved new home. To be there to see this type of action. Bernie has raced on the close course in the unlimited class. He is an amazing guy. It is a 1953 model. Possibly one of the last that came off the assembly line. Less than 900.